Hello, oddities, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, then hello. We are very happy to have you. We hope you enjoy your stay and welcome on in. Today, we are continuing our Tiny Town Challenge, where every tiny house is a different Harry Potter character. Today, we are focusing on Hermione Granger, the bookworm herself. I am super excited to do this build. I thoroughly enjoy Hermione as a character. She is by far one of my favorite characters from the Harry Potter series, and I kind of wanted to bring in elements of her character from the books as well as her character from the show. So, without further ado, let's get into the build. Alright, so if you are wondering why I have the base of a house already done, that's because I pre-built the lot for the Hermione build, and I had the whole thing decorated, furnished, everything, and I absolutely hated it. It was not giving Hermione in any way, shape, or form, and I really liked the structure of the house, like the actual base of the house, so I decided it was good enough in terms of that, but I didn't like the color scheme I'd picked. It was way too white. It was very white and gray. It was very boring, and I kind of wanted to switch it up a bit and instead do something a little more colorful, a little more like earthy, as I thought that would fit Hermione's character a lot better. So I went in with very light browns and kind of like a nice wood paneling on the outside paired with some brick accents, which I thought looked really good as sort of like an added on feature to the original house. And I really loved how it came out. I immediately picked out the added brick area as the sunroom dining room kind of vibe, and I really wanted to pull in like different colors from the wallpaper that I had chosen. I really felt like the wallpaper was very whimsical and kind of very earthy, very cottagecore. And as much as Hermione is an absolute badass and amazing in every way, shape, or form, she gives cottagecore. I don't know how to explain that thought process to you, but genuinely she gives me cottagecore. So I wanted to have a lot of the kind of homebody vibes. And so I ended up with this. I really absolutely adore the open shelves that come with Home Chef Hustle. And so I wanted to use that in here as well. I like the color scheme. I just love this build. I don't know how else to word it, but I absolutely adore the color scheme for this build, and I decided to go in with a lot more clutter, a lot more just stuff all around the whole place. I definitely cluttered up Harry's house a fair amount, but for Hermione's, I 100% went all out. I cluttered this entire place through and through. I was having a really hard time picking what colors to pull in when it came to the cabinet pieces. I really didn't know color scheme for that specifically. I think I ended up changing it a few times if I remember correctly. And I kind of liked the green accents that we had going on, and I really liked the kind of like the just the aesthetic of the greens paired with the like browns and the different shades, like natural shades of brown, and then the nice like almost sage green that I had on a few of the pieces. So yeah, I really loved that. So we're starting in on the lounge now. I was trying to find a wood swatch that matched the little paneling on the bottom of the wallpaper. I wanted it to match so badly. And the fact that we don't have matching wood swatches for stuff like that drives me insane. It is actually ridiculous how frustrating that can be. But I was trying to find a good kind of like bluish color to go with the to match with the wallpaper again, that was different to the greens that I was trying to use in the kitchen to kind of just like pull it in. I ended up changing my mind on the counters, as I said before, and I went in with a completely different color scheme with a more vibrant brown that matched wood tone on the floor and that nice blue countertop paired with blue appliances, and I feel like it just came out so good. I really wanted to put curtains up and I just could not make them work. I know that I never put curtains in my Sims builds, and genuinely it's a tragedy because we have some seriously nice um, curtains in this game, and the fact that I just could not find a way to make it work drove me up the bend. It was such a frustrating experience. So I didn't end up putting curtains. I really wanted curtains. I couldn't make it work. So we're doing the upstairs now, where we've kind of moved to the top floor. I really wanted to push myself on this one. I wanted to come up with a really smart way to do the roof, and I wanted to kind of make the top a bit more unique, I guess you could say. And I really hope I did that. I really wanted it to look like more of a built-on functionality kind of thing, in the way that it was like, yeah, you could tell this used to be a one bedroom, but now it's actually more of a full house than just a tiny house. And I kind of wanted to really pull the kind of that side of it in. Again, with massive windows, I feel like Hermione would hate the dark. After some of the stuff that she ended up going throughout the series, she would want something a lot more colorful and very lively. So I ended up doing an entire kind of like mini garden out there with a hedge and a few extra stuff laid on top of each other to kind of make sure that the colors were really comforting and really just overall very like, yeah, just overall very comfy and very like comforting. Then for the room itself, I really struggled. I really genuinely struggled with how I was going to lay out this room. I knew that I definitely wanted a library kind of area in there, as well as a whole kind of just comfortable space for her to kind of have it as her space, her own personal space. And I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to do the bedroom, so I left it for the moment and ended up focusing a bit more on the exterior and fixing a few extra things, kind of improving it a wee bit. These little square things that I put all around the build and added to Harry's as well was some extra little decals. So in the live version of the game, you won't see the blocks. Instead, what you'll see is basically like what you'll see is the image that's actually on there. So you'll see fireflies and mosquitoes instead of just a square with a picture, which I think actually makes the build so much more lifelike when you play in it. And while I was building Hermione's place, I realized that with the new For Rent pack, you can actually make this a functional town. There are 16 lots, so you would have to use there's a cheat, I'll put it on the screen, I have no idea what it's called, but there's a cheat that lets you go past the 6 rental units limit. You can actually turn this into a functional town and move people in here, and I think I might actually end up doing it as a final episode in the series. Kind of be like, okay, so the builds are all done, we have everyone, let's go find these Sims in game and add them to the houses and everything like that. I think that might be a lot of fun to try out and to see how it works. It also might give me the opportunity to play around with the For Rent pack, because I feel like I haven't actually played with the For Rent pack a ton. I've kind of left it there a bit. I started a let's play, a personal little let's play for myself to play with the pack, and it's really buggy. It's really buggy. I'm having problems with my doors where even if I put the walls down, like 100% down, the walls are just there. The doors are just kind of there, and it's super distracting, and I have absolutely no idea why it's doing that. These bookshelves were driving me up the bend. They were genuinely, I was going crazy. They just would not snap to each other correctly. I have no idea why they were being the way that they were, but anytime I tried to like place them together, it wouldn't snap together. It kept clipping. It sat weird. So anytime I had to do anything to the bookshelves, I absolutely dreaded it so much because it was acting out and being super horrible to use and everything. So I ended up really just disliking the bookshelf, but I got it to work in the end, and as a result I was a lot more happy with it and ended up kind of just leaving it. I have to change it in the walkthrough if I remember correctly, because it bugs out and I had to go fix it. So right now we're trying to pick a kind of like a nice desk and kind of a nice desk area for Hermione. We all know she's a big studying person. Even though she ends up going back to Hogwarts to finish her studies before becoming the Minister of Magic, I wanted to give her a nice study kind of area attached to the bookshelves, simply because I know that it's Hermione and she probably would be doing paperwork at home or just writing in general. Maybe she'd sit at her desk and read. I don't know. I just wanted to give her a nice comfy space where she could just work. I ended up giving her the typewriter computer as well, kind of just to keep things authentic to the time period, I guess. But yeah, I absolutely ended up absolutely loving how her room turned out. These pictures are from the PufferHead Stuff Pack. It's a fan-made stuff pack, and I adore it. I ended up using it so much in Hermione's build. I will 100% have the pack linked down below so that if you guys want to download the house, you can at least get some of these cool pictures with it. I'm pretty sure I used a ton of packs. Again, I'm pretty sure I used a ton of packs for this build. Again, I'm so sorry. I need to do some base game builds for you guys, but for now, I'm just really enjoying having the freedom of all the packs that I own and kind of being able to experiment with them, I guess. And so I haven't done any kind of pack limited builds or anything like that. Yeah, I apologize for that. My bad. I will definitely keep a pack limited build in mind. I also used a custom content table downstairs. I am so sorry. I don't even know which custom content pack it was. I just could not find a very simple, straightforward table that looked like that in any of the Sims packs. And I cut out how much I looked, but I didn't cut it out. My editor did. Shout out to my editor again. So yeah, I definitely wanted to kind of make it very homey and very lived in, and I gave her planter boxes and everything, working under the assumption that she would grow some of her own kind of potions, ingredients and stuff like that. But yeah, I really, really like this build. I worked so hard on the landscaping to try and make sure that it would look neat, but also fun and kind of a little sporadic. And I went ham on the landscaping for this one. I really gave it my all, and I think that it came out just so well. Yeah, I'm just really happy with the landscaping and the overall house on this one. I'm really proud of myself, and I think just looking at it next to Harry's build, it really shows how far I've come in terms of just building in terms of the past few weeks. Like, I've spent a month on these challenges. Just a month. And some of my muscle memory has kicked back in, I guess I could say. And the builds have been really, really improving as time has gone on. Next week we're back to the Nightmare Prompt Challenge, and I'm really excited to continue with that series. I want to be able to do a lot of series in one go to kind of expand that out. But same concept, it's all build challenges, but it's different types of build challenges. To have it not be super like structured and formal, to have some form of kind of looseness to it. So yeah, but we are wrapping up on the build now, so I'm gonna throw it over to the walkthrough. Okay, so now that we're done, I get to do a cute little walkthrough of Hermione's build for you guys. I must say, I am so impressed with myself. I've worked really hard on trying to watch as many kind of tutorials and Sims videos on how to be better at landscaping. And I think that I've actually done a pretty decent job on Hermione's build, especially if you compare it to Harry's build, who's right next to it. It's definitely a massive improvement, and I think I've come really, really far. So, just for now, I definitely still have room to grow. For example, I didn't put any terrain paint down. This is why we don't do builds in the middle of the night when we're tired and trying to recover from being sleepy, or sick, I guess, because then we forget stuff as simple as terrain paint. All right, there we go. Anyway, I really like how far I've come in terms of that, and I think I've made some insane progress around it. So I must say, I'm really chuffed with the landscaping in this one. But let's jump into the actual build itself. As you enter the front door, you are met with the living room. I realize this is probably the like third or fourth build I've done where as soon as you walk in, you're met with the living room. I have no idea why I keep making the living room kind of the first thing you see when you come in, but I've always done it where that just is how it ends up being, that's how it fits. And I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong, I really love Hermione's build so much more. For some reason, I really didn't do a lot of finessing with Harry's. I built it before I did some of the Nightmare Prompt builds, which is why it looks a lot closer to my old builds where they were very empty and there wasn't much going on, compared to like a build now where I've already done about four of my prompt builds, and I've learned a lot of tips and tricks and I've kind of expanded a lot. So maybe if you guys want to see it, I'll go back and redo Harry's build and do a little more justice to it, I think. For now, you come straight in and you are met with a beautiful lounge with some clutter around the sides. We've got two plants and the umbrella stand, and we've got the thermos over there. But we have this big ornate chimney in like a kind of bluish color with a lot of browns in there. We also have two beautiful lounge kind of sets, two armchairs and a three-seater that I think are just gorgeous. I don't remember which pack they're from. Oh, they're from the new Horse Ranch pack. Okay, that makes sense. So they're from the Horse Ranch pack. I absolutely love them. I think it came out so well. I think the blue kind of plays into the wallpaper that has the slightly blue eggs on it and that like bluish green leaf that's also over there. And I don't know, it's something about a blue, like, kind of suburban house. I watch a lot of Little Simsy, so that probably plays a big part of why I did a blue suburban-esque house. But we've got a stunning carpet that pulls in a few more of the more neutral colors. Past the lounge, we have a stunning kitchen that I must admit I am very jealous of. I would kill to have a kitchen that looked like this. I was considering adding in a island into this kitchen, but I kind of liked how open it was. We have a really small kind of dining area over here, which is on glassed out windows. So it's very much a sunroom dining kind of experience, which I think is just amazing. And we have that like dark blue accent pieces on with the countertops that I think just look stunning in this area. It kind of adds like a darker contrast to the wood colors that I've pulled in, and I just really like it. I must say, I absolutely love this house. By far, this is one of my favorite houses, and I think I'm actually going to take all of these houses and I'm going to pop them onto a single lot and save the house itself. But when I'm finished, the entire lot will be up on my gallery. Please don't forget, Sim ID is Cascade, two S's, two E's. Right, so that's the kitchen dining kind of situation. If you come out the large sliding doors that are here, you're met with like a patio kind of vibe, but it's a closed off patio, which I really like. It's got a little bench off to the side with a vertical planter box from Eco Living that's over here. And I just think that the contrast in size and kind of being all like, yeah, if you want to grow your own stuff, you can. I think that that's stunning. You also have a faux chimney for the fireplace that's over there. This is basically one piece that I just stacked on top of each other like that a lot, which created like these little ridges that I actually really like. I must admit, I really, really like it. You've got a little barbecue that's under this little staircase here with a kitchen counter next to it so that your sim can bake or so that your sim can grill. If you come up to the top, you actually come into the door straight away and you are greeted by the bedroom. I must say, this bedroom I love. I really, really like this bedroom. I like how it came out. I will say, all of these pictures are custom content, except for this one over here that came from, I think it's like Jungle Adventure or something. This whole gallery wall and on this side the two framed paintings over here are custom contents. It's part of the PotterHead collection, if I remember correctly. I'll have it linked down below. But I do normally avoid custom content in my builds, like in builds like this that I want everyone to be able to download and play. Okay, there we go. Sorry. For some reason the bookshelf was a bit funky. But so these are custom content as well as the ones over here. I am really sorry about that, but they just fit the build so much. I couldn't not use them. We have some desk clutter and a kind of like a really nice neutral kind of color space. And naturally, I had to put in massive built-in bookshelves. These are from the Book Nook kit. There's no way I couldn't. I genuinely couldn't think of any reason why Hermione wouldn't have a built-in library in her bedroom. Let's be honest, that's very Hermione. She's also big on work, so I gave her like a typewriter computer and a nice big desk to work on. Her bed is like a nice soft color as well, and she's got some clutter on her bedside table. I really tried to keep everything as neutral and fun as possible. I pulled in a lot of colors from the paintings as well to kind of draw the whole room together, and I must say I really like it. I love Hermione's house so much. I have like a little garden thing going up here with these don't actually show up um in live mode. Instead, what will show up in their place is like little fireflies and mosquitoes, depending on which one you use. So if you go into the water outdoor water decor and you go into the very last one, pond effects, you'll be able to find all of these like little things that pop up. So like this one, unidentified submerged objects, right? Will have like little bubbles popping up. This one will have dragonflies skimming over an area. This one will have an actual crocodile in your pool. It's really cool. So I just put some mosquitoes and some fireflies out there, and there's some fireflies down at the bottom here, and there's some more here, just to kind of make the place a little more lively and look a little more lived in. But I really like how I did Hermione's room. I added a little glass to the tops of the roof to kind of let some more natural light in. I figured she'd be big on natural light in the way that as much as she would have lumos or her little light balls or anything like that, she would really want something a little more earthy and a little more muggle to kind of pull in her background. But I must say, I absolutely love Hermione's build. So that is Hermione's build, guys. I am so excited to continue this challenge. I hope you are enjoying it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the wonderful things that YouTubers always tell you to do. And more importantly, who do you guys think I'm going to be doing next? It's very obvious that I'm doing the Golden Trio first. I feel like it's very easy to do them first. But after the Golden Trio, who do you think I'm going to be building a house for next? Leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next one.